This is Pastor Wil with You Win on Wednesdays. And I want to talk for just a moment about the reality of temptation. Too often we relegate temptation to fleshly matters, some sexual enticement. And that's not always the case. Luke 4 speaks of Jesus. He says, Jesus, full of the Holy Ghost, is led into the wilderness by the Spirit to be tempted by the devil. I'm interested here in sharing with you that religion does not inoculate. It does not protect you from the pangs of temptation. No. So do not believe the spiritual leaders, preachers, pastors, teachers, and I'm a part of that fraternity, who would have you believe that you are somehow spiritually anemic because you are wrestling with something. Jesus, no one was more morally perfect. No one was holier, and yet he is engaged in the reality of temptation. If we are honest with each other, all of us are struggling with some form or another. I also want to suggest that temptation is an indication that you are alive. I know temptation is uncomfortable. Socrates said that it is like having two headstrong horses pulling in opposite directions. Paul says in Luke 7, the thing that I do not want to do, that's the thing that I do. And the thing that I ought to do, that's the thing that I do not do. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? Paul was saying this thing is uncomfortable to be tempted, engaged in temptation. And yet, dead people are not tempted. So if you are engaged in temptation, it's an indication that you are alive. And if you are alive, there is potential. You can achieve and overcome. I want to also suggest that temptation is the threshold into your destiny. I want you to understand that we cannot fumble temptation. Jesus was on the threshold of his public ministry, so he had to handle correctly temptation. So must you and I manage temptation, because it is often the threshold, the entrance into our destiny. I want you to pray with me. Leave me a comment. I want to know if this blesses you. Call the number on the screen, because everyone I know can use prayer.